Well, they were a little bit concerned with the Pettipier kid, and that's probably not a bad idea if you're going to guard him the way he's been shooting it. But I think there's probably just more miscommunication than anything else. And on that particular play, Trey's job is to make sure that we get the ball inbound to our point guard. And once he does, he's supposed to get down the floor, and they just lost him in the shuffle. And he was the only guy open. He was the only guy on that side of the floor, it looked like to me. But the way it was, the ball goes through as the time goes out, and it looked to me like they probably could have had a foul. I don't think anybody had a closed fist in the air. Had that shot not gone, it looked to me like there could have been a foul. Maybe we would have had a chance at free throws. But I guess the worst thing at worst is going to be, overtime, I guess. So would have give you guys more free money that way. Well, we just have a play we call Wildcat, and we just said we're going to run it either way, and if he makes it, we get it in quick and go, and if he misses it, get the rebound and go, and we're just going to push it down the floor. And a little bit at that point, you got to have a little bit of luck on your side, and the way it was, the floor opened up, and I think Trey was about as surprised as anybody was. Well, I thought we would respond a little better. We had them down 5 going into the fourth quarter. We talked about that, and they come right out and knock down a 3 and get another basket. Pretty good luck to the Holste kid, and they raced it right back. So now you got a 7-minute game with a tie score. So all in all, they had some runs and we had some runs, and I guess, like I said, we talked about how valuable every possession is, and we wanted to fight and make sure we got the opening tip, because these games come down to one possession sometimes, and that extra possession sometimes makes a difference. I thought he played pretty well. It looked like there was plenty of action going on down there both ways. I think there was only 2 free throw shots in the second half, and I don't think either side is quite good enough to play clean defense at the post for 16 minutes like that. But I thought he kept his head pretty well. He's so big and strong that they kind of have to rough him up a little bit to handle him, and he's come a long ways over the course of the year to dealing with a lot of that contact, and he just kind of has to expect it, because that's, like we said, that's the way some people, the only way they can deal with him. And these two guys, the Holste kid and him, went at it a lot of times, and they know each other pretty well, and they just, sometimes you take a chance and get out of position. And that last play there, we got a good touch for him down low, and he spun around there, knocked her off the glass. It was a really good shot for him, and gave us a bit of a lead. So that's what we were looking for.
I guess one thing that kind of stood out to me, Hensley oftentimes was on the ball going, or on the floor going for the ball. Rold was diving after it at times. It was just, you don't always see that. I guess maybe you do. I don't. But how refreshing is that to kind of just everybody giving it 110%, both sides?
Well, the last number of years, maybe even the last 10 or 12 years, just a tough place to play. We come down here, and it seems like we don't maybe shoot the ball very well, and sometimes they're just better than we are. But we came down here, and we just talked about in there. We got, we can't go back and change those games in December, but we can, we have a chance to make amends for those losses we had in December. And we talked about come out of here, and we knew they were going to make some plays. We were going to make some plays, and hopefully in the end we made enough. We would make enough, and like we talked about, no matter what happens when they go back to the locker room, just make sure we left it all out there. And I think that's what they were doing. I can't lie to you. I'll give a lot of props to our assistant coach, Tony Santisteban. He really kept us together over Christmas break. He plugged away, and did a good job of keeping the guys positive, keeping me positive. He would do a good job as far as sometimes he'd just flat get in there with the varsity and show them just what we wanted out of them, instead of just telling them and drawing it up on the board and hoping they pick it up. And he's done a really good job that way. And like I said, about the time we started doing that with him was when we kind of started winning and getting a little bit of confidence. And Josh, we talked to Josh too. You got to shoot the ball a little bit. And it wasn't we weren't running stuff for him. It wasn't we weren't telling him not to shoot by any means. And we just told him, hey, you got to shoot the ball. He's going to spread some things out a little bit. And once he's done that, they've got to guard him and then you maybe get a little bit more time in there one-on-one at the post before they double down. So, we got other guys besides those guys that can shoot it too. Trey Nelson can shoot it. Trevor Schultz, he hit a 3 tonight, 13 there. He can shoot it. And we keep talking. If we ever come together some night, somebody's probably in trouble.